JuJu Smith-Schuster is weighing his options. Of course, they are many, or not necessarily many, but they are very favorable for him when you've got a chance to go to the NFL early. So he's weighing what is a good thing going at USC and all the talent coming back versus riches in the NFL.
Yeah, it's JuJu Smith-Schuster and Adoree Jackson go way back. They've been battling it out at practice pretty much every day. They go up against each other, best receiver versus best cornerback, and they're pretty tight. And after the Notre Dame game, you just beat your rivals pretty comfortably. You're pretty fired up. It's been a great couple of months. He said something to the effect of, if Adoree stays, I'm staying. So if Adoree's coming back, I'm coming back, and we're gonna go win the national championship next year. Which, okay. Right after the game, pretty fired up. But he's also been tweeting out things like, hey, Adoree, my mom wants to know if I'm coming back or not, so let me know ASAP. So it seems like he's, and recently on Snapchat, he's also said something to the same effect. Excited about next year, going to go win that natty. So, it seems like he's either strongly thinking about coming back, or he's really just toying with a lot of folks. I guess either one's possible, but you've got a lot of these NFL draft experts with their unnamed sources all saying, yeah, we've talked to all these people. JuJu Smith-Schuster's definitely going. I don't know how much weight you want to put in unnamed sources, but those same folks did predict Christian McCaffrey was definitely coming out. They said so from their sources, and sure enough, today we found out. But it's tough to say. It'd be really exciting. But here's the great thing for USC. They've really started spreading the ball around. JuJu Smith-Schuster hasn't even been getting the most amount of targets the last couple games, which is amazing to think about. From last year, when it was literally he was the only guy getting passes thrown to him, and this year he's like third or fourth every game in number of targets, and there's like 8 guys seeing the ball. So it's, he's a great player and he will be missed, but I don't think it would be nearly as devastating to the offense after this season as it would have been last year. So I certainly hope he comes back because he's a great weapon, but there's a ton of great weapons on that offense, and Darnold's got plenty of people to throw to.
Yeah, it's a decision that we would all envy. Do you flee to the NFL for riches, or do you stay at a place like USC? But I'm not going to discount the stress that might be placed on these kids from a number, whether it's family, friends, just the peer pressure, the pressure of outside forces, of possible potential agents. Hopefully they're not contacting the individual in question, but we know what the things go on that aren't necessarily above board. I'm not going to discount that the pressure that these kids feel, especially if they really understand how well they have it right there, that this is their last just kind of go around to have it really good. Sure, football's a tough sport, but to have college life and to have less pressure than they will just a few months later and really soak it up. And we saw a decision by Baker Mayfield, the Oklahoma quarterback, to stick around for one more year. And you mentioned Christian McCaffrey last year.
And, you also have to think about a couple of things. One, for a guy like McCaffrey or JuJu Smith-Schuster coming back, if you're looking at it strictly as a business decision, how much more can McCaffrey or Smith-Schuster really raise their draft stock? Is there anyone right out there right now that isn't comfortably aware with what those two guys can do? If it was a quarterback and maybe they had some bad decisions and you kind of, wondered about their maturity, it might make sense. But I don't think JuJu Smith-Schuster is going to make any more money by staying. Having said that, if you think back to every single college kid ever or high school kid who could not wait to graduate, finally I'm free from school, and then 2-3 years out in the real world and they're like, man, I had a real good in college, sleeping until noon and drinking on Thursdays. It was great. So it's tough to think about because we're talking about giving these guys $5-10 million a year, but they're also still college kids. And so, everybody wants to get out in the real world and get done with school. And then, so it's a lot to balance. And I'm glad in a lot of respects, in that respect anyway, that I didn't have to worry about this when I was 22. But, now that I'm not 22, I wish I had that money to think about. But, we can't all be JuJu.
All right. This is the USC edition of Mark Rogers TV. We come your way every Wednesday night with Nick Dempsey. We couldn't do it otherwise without Nick from Conquest Chronicles. All right, Nick, we are going to have 3 full segments leading up to the Rose Bowl, so I don't think there's any inch of this matchup that we won't be able to cover.
Oh, we'll hit it all. We'll hit it all.
All right, Nick, thanks a lot.
Anytime.